Hello, dear students. I hope you all are safe and healthy. My name is Ankita, and I am teaching as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. I welcome all of you to the lecture 16 of my online lecture series of computer networks. And in this video, we are going to start the topics from the unit 1. In last videos, we have completed the unit 4th as well as unit 3rd topic. So in previous video we studied about the media access control protocols, which were Aloha, CSMA, CSMA CD. So MAC is a sublayer of data link layer of OSI reference model, and these three are the further protocols which work on the media access control sublayer. Aloha was divided into slotted Aloha and pure Aloha. We saw how their throughput differs with each other and which one is the best protocolar technique which works for the media access control sublayer. So starting in this video, so computer network definition differ from individual to individual. Some may say that it is a collection of computers which are connected with each other for the purpose of sharing information. Some may define it as the collection of peripherals, mainframes, servers, switches, routers, which forms a network for the purpose of sharing information. Some may say the internet is known as a network which connects millions of people all over the world, and some may define it as the collection of devices in a network connected via wired or the wireless medium for the purpose of sharing information. So the computer network definitions can be different according to the perspective of individuals. So what are the network criteria when we need to establish a network? What should be the criteria that we should keep in mind, like performance, reliability and security? So if we talk about performance, it is measured in three ways, which includes transient time. So when we talk about the performance, it can be measured in many ways, including transient and the response time. Transit time is the amount of time required for a message to travel from one device to another, and response time is the elapsed time between an inquiry and a response, or you can say between a request and a response. So the performance of a network depends on the number of factors, including the number of users, the type of transmission medium, the capability of the connected hardware, and the software efficiency. So performance is evaluated by two networking metrics known as throughput and delay. So oftenly more throughputs and less delays are required. However, these two criteria are often contradictory, and if we try to send more data to the network, we may increase the throughput but we may increase the delay also, because the traffic congestion in the network may occur at some point of time. So reliability is another factor. In addition to the accuracy of delivery, network reliability is measured by the frequency of failures and the time it takes a link to recover from a failure, and the network's robustness in a catastrophe. So in addition to the performance, reliability is measured by the frequency of failures and the time it takes for a link to recover. So security is another important issue while establishing a network, which includes protecting data from unauthorized access, protecting data from damage and the development, and implementing policies and procedures for recovery from breaches and data losses. So all these are the factors which must be kept in mind while selecting the hardware and the software components for your networks. Okay, so there may be two types of connections for which we would like to establish any network. So one connection is point to point and the second one is multi point. Okay, so point to point connection provides a dedicated link between the two devices, and the entire capacity of the link is reserved for the transmission between those two devices only. So most of the point to point connections use an actual length of the wire or the cable to connect the two ends, but other options such as microwave or the satellite links are also possible. So when we change the television channels by infrared remote control, we are establishing a point to point connection between the remote control and the television's control system. So in a multi point connections, they are also known as multi drop connection, in which more than two specific devices share a single link. So this is the diagram in which you can get the idea how point to point and multi point connections are established. So point to point, there are only two entities having a single channel between them, and multi-point or multi-drop will be having a mainframe computer, and all it will send the link to all other computers. So in multi-point environment, the capacity of the channel is shared either spatially or temporally, and if several devices can use the link simultaneously, it is a spatial shared connection, and if users must take turns, it is time shared connection. So it means that if every user is having a specified time slot or time duration, you can say, then it is known as the time shared connection. So what is the need of a network? See, we all know that the main application or main use of a network is for the resource sharing or the data sharing or information sharing. So and network additionally enables associated PCs to share documents and information, and also equipment assets like scanners, plotters, projectors, printers, and other storage devices, making it simpler to gather and administer data and enabling clients to work together. So the system was simply not advanced in one day, rather, it took a long time to be in all the more incredible, productive, and dependable system. So a network includes a long history in its development. So it started from the ARPANET, and in the topic example networks, we will see the various milestones in the development of the network, like ARPANET was first, and then NSF NET was the second, and then finally both of these networks combinedly made a complete internet. So ARPANET stands for Advanced Research Agency Network, and this was the network that became the basis for the internet, and it was the first network that came into existing in 1969, and which was designed and named by the Advanced Research Project Agency, that is ARPA, and the US Department of Defense. So it was where a bunch of PCs were associated at various colleges and US DoD for sharing of information and messages, and playing long separation diversions and associating with individuals to share their perspective. So history is very huge if we talk about the internet uh, evolution. So I have not included that detailed history. I am including just the important milestones, like we will see the definition or the place of various types of network, that is where they stand, where these networks stand in the development of a complete network. So the ARPANET was one. I would suggest to all students that you must go with the history from the book Andrew S. Tannenbaum. So the complete detailed history is given in that. If I would have included that much history in this video, then this video may take so long to be completed. That's why I have included only important names of the networks and with their definitions. So NSF NET stands for National Science Foundation Network. So in the mid 80s, another federal agency, National Science Foundation Network, created a new network which was more capable than the ARPANET, and became the first backbone infrastructure for the commercial public network. So its main aim was to use the networks only for the academic research and for any kind of private business activity. Later, many privately owned businesses with their own private systems joined the ARPANET and NSFNet to make a more capable and wide network that is known as internet. So ARPANET and NSFNet and various other private networks combinedly made one internet. So these blocks are showing the development year of these different type of networks. So finally we got the internet, which is a network of networks. So the internet has evolved from the ARPANET, and the internet is globally connected network system that utilizes TCP/IP to transmit information. It allows computers to different type of exchange of information, and the internet is a financially communications method on the planet in which the following services are instantly available, like email, web enabled audio video conferencing services, data transfer, file sharing, internet forums, social networking, online shopping, financial services, and many more. And next we talk about the types of networks. This categorization of network is according to their geographical location. So first one was the personal area network, which is formed around a person and is generally consist of a computer, a mobile, a personal digital assistant, uh, a laptop or a palm top. So PAN can be used for establishing communication among these personal devices for connecting to a digital network and the internet. So its characteristics are like only a personal device like a mobile, like a laptop, can be equipped within a limited area, and this allows you to handle the interconnection of IT devices at the surrounding of the single user. PAN includes mobile devices, tablets, etc. And the advantages of the personal area network, they are relatively secure and safe because they include only the limited area. Bluetooth is again a good example of this PAN personal area network. Codeless mic, keyboards, these are the another examples of personal area network. This is strictly restricted to the small area, and disadvantages of PAN are like it may establish a bad connection to other networks at some radio bands, and distance limits. Yes, distance, because it covers only small distance or small area. So this may be considered as a disadvantage of personal area network. Next come LAN. So local area network is a group of computer and peripheral devices which are connected in a limited area such as school, laboratory, home, office building, college building. So it is widely useful network for sharing resources and data like files, printers, games and other applications. Simple type of LAN is to connect computers and a printer in someone's office or home. So it is a network which can consist of less than 5000 interconnecting devices across the several building. Its characteristics are you can consider LAN as a private network. So LAN can be established as a private network also, so an outside regulatory body never controls it. LAN operates at a relatively higher speed compared to the wide area network systems, and there are various kinds of media access control methods also like token ring and ethernet, etc. Its advantages are like computer resources like hard disk, DVD, ROM and printers, they can share local area networks, and you can use the same software over the network instead of purchasing the licensed software for each client in the network. You can easily transfer data messages over the networked computer. It will be easy to manage data at only one place, and the local area network offers a facility to share a single internet connection among all the other LAN users. LAN also have some disadvantages. So according to the space or the area it covers, one disadvantage can be considered in that way also. So LAN will indeed save cost because of the shared computer resources, but initially the cost of installing LAN is quite high. You need separate connecting devices, wires, cables, connectors, etc. The LAN admin can check personal data files of the LAN of every user, so it does not offer a good privacy. Unauthorized access uh, can be there to access the critical data of an organization in case of LAN admin is not able to secure centralized data repository. So other than LAN we have wide area network. So LAN, if we combine various LAN segments we can form a wide area network as you can see in the diagram. So this is another important computer network which is spread across a large geographical area. WAN network system could be a connection of LAN which connects with other LANs using telephone lines and the radio waves. So characteristics of WAN includes the software files will be shared among all the users, therefore all can access to the latest files, and any organization can form its global integrated network using wide area network. Its advantages like WAN helps you to cover a larger geographical area, therefore business offices situated at longer distances can easily communicate, and it contains devices like mobile phones, laptop, mainframes, tablets, computers, gaming consoles, etc. Virtual LAN, wide local area network connections. Wireless local area network connections work using radio transmitters and receives built into client devices. Its disadvantages like initial setup, these are the very costly networks, and it is difficult to maintain the wide area network. You need skilled technicians and the good administrators for doing the maintenance or work in the network. There are more errors and the issues because of the wide coverage and full use of the different technologies, and it requires more time to resolve issues because of the involvement of multiple wired and wireless technology, because it is a collection of different kind of LAN. So this LAN can be wired, this can be wireless, or this can again be wired. So this is a combination of wired and wireless. So maintenance and the complexity increases accordingly. Metropolitan area network is the fourth type of network in which various cities are covered, or you can say the distances larger than LAN but smaller than WAN are covered under metropolitan area network. So a MAN consisting of a computer network across an entire city, college campus, or small region. This type of network is larger than the LAN and smaller than wide area network, depending upon the type of the configuration. That this type of network allows you to cover an area from several miles to 10 of miles. Its characteristics are like it mostly covers towns and the city in the maximum range of 50 kilometers. Mostly used medium is optical fiber cables, and data rates adequate for distributed computing applications. Its advantages are it offers fast communication using high speed carriers like fiber optic cables. With the dual bus in metropolitan area network provides support to transmit data in both the directions concurrently. In metropolitan area network, mostly it includes entire city or some part of the city. Its disadvantages may be like you may need cable to establish the MAN connection from one place to another, and it is tough to make the system secure from the hackers. So security is always an issue while having the large networks. Other type of network can be wireless local area network, storage area network, system area network, home area network, passive optical LAN. So all these are but all in all, your LAN, WAN, MAN, these are the main type of networks which are when connected in various ways, they form such type of networks. We can define a network topology as a representation or a geographical representation of the computers which are connected in a network. There can be 5 types of topology possible. First one is mesh topology, or it is also known as irregular topology, in which every one computer is having direct connection with the other computer. So in that case, there are disadvantages of this topology, like installation and configuration becomes difficult because there are so many point to point connections, so it increases the complexity, and maintenance is also high. On the other hand, it is robust and fault is diagnosed easily. It provides security and privacy for two computers because they have direct communication, so a problem can be detected easily. Okay, if suppose n number of devices are connected with each one in the mesh topology, then the total number of ports that is required by each device is n minus 1. So in this figure, there are 5 devices connected to each other, hence the total number of ports required is 4. If suppose n number of devices are connected with each other in the mesh topology, then the number of dedicated links required to connect them in NC2, that is n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So in this figure, 5 devices connected to each other, hence total number of links will be required 10. Okay. On the other hand, star topology is a topology which provides a client server architecture kind scenario for establishing a connector, for establishing a network. Herein we have one main system, or you can say a hub or a main switch, through which all the other computers are connected. The advantages of this topology is that the number of cables required to connect them, if we have n devices, then to connect all these devices to the main system, we will be requiring same amount of wires or cables. So it is easy to set up, and each device requires only one port to connect to the hub. So disadvantages of this are, if the central system or the hub on which the topology relies, it fails, the whole system will crash down. Cost of installation is high. Performance is based on the single concentrator or hub or switch. On the other hand, bus topology is like a single cable which is shared by all the system. In this, as you can see in the diagram, there is a one cable which is having terminator at both of its ends, These are the node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. So advantages of bus topology is that if n devices are connected to each other in the bus, then the number of cables required to connect them is one, which is known as the backbone cable, and n drop lines are required. So this is the backbone cable and these are the drop lines. So if you have 10 number of systems, then 10 drop lines will be required. Its disadvantage is that if the common cable fails, then the whole system will crash down, and if the network traffic is heavy, it increases collision in the network. And to avoid this, MAC layer provides the various MAC protocols like slotted aloha, CSMA, CD, CSMA, etc. Next one is ring topology, in which all the computers are connected in a circular way, or you can say one after another. The cable or the connection starts from station 1, and by going through the station, next station 2, 3, 4, it comes back to the same station. So it forms a kind of ring, and through that ring all the systems are connected. In this, one station is known as the monitor station, which takes all the responsibility to perform the operation or to initiate the operation, and to transmit the data. Station has to hold the token, and after the transmission is done, that token will be released by the other station for use. As we studied token passing mechanism in the type of LAN networks, that token passing network is based upon this ring topology. So wherein one token circulates in the entire ring. So if any system wants to send some data, it has to acquire the ring, and then by attaching the data to its ring, to its token, it has to send the data. So advantages are the possibility of collision is minimum, and it is cheaper to install and expand. Its disadvantages are like troubleshooting is difficult, addition of stations is in between, or the removal of stations can disturb the whole network. And one more thing, that problem related to token can occur, like token lost or token unreachable. So there may be another problems related to token in ring topology. Hybrid topology is the combination of all other topologies like ring, star, bus topology. So it is reliable, but at the same time it is costly topology, because we are connecting many topologies with each other. So all these topics we have already discussed in class as well. So enough content is there, so it will help you to write your answers in your final examination also. We will be doing next topics in the upcoming videos. Thank you so much.